Star Wars Outlaws had a real shot at being something special. Absolutely a classic, but the horrible decisions of Ubisoft's upper management have tainted what could have been a classic. Hi, I'm the Welshy one, and if the AAA scene wants to keep fucking me like this, I'd really appreciate it if they'd either tug my hair or buy me a goddamn drink first. Seriously, we're not even halfway through the year, and between the pricing models, surprise microtransactions, or content that's being cut from a complete game and being repackaged to us is getting really old. For those out of the loop, the Star Wars Outlaws story trailer dropped, and on its own the trailer is, well, serviceable. There's nothing to raise an eyebrow at, nothing offensive, and honestly the game looks alright. However, taking a look to the like to dislike ratio, you'll see it's been taken behind the shed for a schoolyard beatdown, with the mystery being solved when you follow through to the pre-order store. My only complaint from the trailer, if I'm being honest, is the cliche that they're going to rely on that I know is going to be at the start of the game of, Person X, we finally met, but we, the audience, have never met this person or even heard of your name before. I've heard you're a badass, and you've made Person Y super angry. And now it's time to show them how much of a badass you are. I bet you're going to do some cool things, like you did before, that made Person Y very angry. I hate this cliche in storytelling in games and movies where you are introduced to someone you've never met or never heard of before, and to get you invested in them, to think they're a badass, you have somebody else mention how much of a badass they are. I'm hoping that the scene in the trailer plays out later after you've done a few things to become the badass, but I'm willing to bet 10 Republic credits that it's going to be in the opening so that you think that this person's really cool. Now, where was I? Oh yeah, the pre-order menu. So we've seen some doozies of some costs this year in gaming. Like, take Like a Dragon, for example. I thought that was outrageous. I thought that was the worst that we're going to get, with the free variant editions ranging from $115 to $180. But boy, Ubisoft. Hold my beer, they came out swinging! In defense of Like a Dragon, at least Like a Dragon had the benefit of being a proven successful title with a backlog of other games that are also successful. I still don't agree with their decision that they've done with Like a Dragon, with their editions having the new game plus mode and new game modes stuck behind variant paywalls. A real shitty move in my books. But Star Wars Outlaws is an unknown. We've seen no gameplay of this game. We don't even know anything about it other than a bare bones plot and what we've been told by the devs. Even if we were to treat it like Assassin's Creed Star Wars editions, which, well, I think that's what we're going to be getting, name one Assassin's Creed game that came out smoothly. No bugs, no glitches, no nothing. I'll wait. I don't even know where to begin when I look at these prices. I mean, between the prices, the clearly cut content that should have been in the base game that most likely was in the base game, the cosmetics that definitely were in the base game that are now being repackaged to us as a extra feature for more dollary dues, the paywall to pay the game on time, or as they like to call it, early access, to the obvious shock price that makes you want to pay for the subscription model. It's disgusting. I mean, let's look at this pricing. And this is in Australian dollar dues, so it looks worse, and it really is quite bad. But I mean, if I was to buy a copy of the Ultimate Edition, I could instead take that money and buy enough copy for me and the boys and have a full squad in Helldivers 2, be ready to squad up for the end of the evening and spread democracy. I mean, on average, down here in Australia, new titles should be around $60 to $70, but we're seeing a trend of more AAA titles trying to crank this back to $100. Then we'll look at the more expensive models and packages, and we get cosmetics, which, sure, that's nice to have these cosmetics when I first launched the game, but I'd rather they've been earned in-game. Give me more time with the product that I've purchased. But no, we're taking the content that is clearly meant to be in the base game and repackaging me and selling it to me as on a premium. It annoys me in the same way like going to KFC, where they would have the audacity to charge you for the sauce when you've ordered some chips and chicken nuggets. It should just be in the meal. Then, of course, we have early access. And for those that take it at face value, I'm sorry to tell you this, but you're being lied to. What you are actually paying for is to play the game on time. That is the actual release date of the game. There are no big changes that happen within those 3 days that change the game or improve the game. That game is ready to go on that date. Of course, people will pay this because they don't want to get spoiled on heavy focus story games. It's a shitty tactic, and I hate how common it is, and not many people are catching on. Then, of course, we've got the season passes, which are always a mixed bag. At least here, they're offering more than the bare minimum of just a handwave of season passes, where they've mentioned that there's going to be 2 DLCs in there, but with not even a title mention, just a mention of stories, quests, and new areas to discover. Great, you've told me nothing of what I'm pre-ordering here. You know, we like to give Paradox Entertainment their short stick with their season passes and DLCs, but at least they have the decency to give us a bit more. They give us the titles, some artwork to look at, and a bit of a hint of what the flavor of the DLC is going to be, unlike quests, stories, and a new area to discover. But just as I'm about to give them praise for doing above average, here we see Jabba's Gabbert, an exclusive mission at launch. Or, say it with me, kids, more removed content that was in the base game, cut and repackaged, sold at a markup. And then finally, we have the Ultimate Edition, coming in at just shy of under $200, with more cosmetics that should have been in the base game, clearly were cut and repackaged, and an art book, a digital art book, a PDF. Are you fucking kidding me? But you know why it's so much? It's not for the chance that you're actually going to pay the $200, it's more for the chance that they're going to funnel more and more people into the subscription model. That's why it's so low and why all these other prices are high, because no matter which model that you look at of Outlaws, it's cheaper to go with the subscription model. And you know, parents and gamers who are doing it rough, they're going to pay that subscription model rather than the $200 or the $100 model. And they're going to hope that you're going to forget that you've paid for the sub model or enjoy their services and just stick with it. And despite all the money that it's going to make from all these models, they're going to want more. And like they've done with Assassin's Creed, they're going to add an in-game shop with your cosmetics, with your weapons, your time savers, more and more and more to drain your wallet. It's so scummy and greedy, and yet part of the discourse of the game is the looks of the main character. With, oh, the main character is ugly, or you're complaining about the looks of the main character because you're a basement dweller that's never touched a woman. Are you kidding me right now? To throw my 2 cents in on a conversation that is absolutely ridiculous about the main character, she's not real. None of the characters in this game are real. It doesn't matter if she's ugly, if she's pretty, if she's tall, skinny, or whatever. That is not the conversation we should be having around Ubisoft and Star Wars Outlaws. There are 2 real problems that need to be discussed. Besides, everybody knows that the main character should be a big thick titty goffy girl. These pricing tactics are horrible, and I'm absolutely over it, and we all should be. Dragon's Dogma 2, Like a Dragon, even Resident Evil 4, they were all out here trying to outdo each other on this crap, and we should be holding them to account. But where Ubisoft comes in with the shit gold color is, despite what version you buy and where you buy it, whether it be online or in a physical brick-and-mortar store, you're getting a digital copy of the game, requiring an internet connection at all times. Ubisoft have gone on record saying gamers should be more and more comfortable with not owning their games. Not owning a physical copy, not owning a version that's available offline. So what happens when the devs are finished with their game? Or the company goes bankrupt? It stops selling, stops returning a profit, or the CEO just doesn't believe in the product anymore. Servers get shut down and you're left with nothing. They've still got your legal tender. I mean, we just need to look no further than Ubisoft's The Crew, a player base of 30 million strong, gone in an instant with no warning. I was never part of the Crew community, but I'd feel their pain. I recently had the urge to play Final Fantasy My Life as King on the Wii. I bought that in high school. I paid with my money, with my legal tender. I still have my Wii working. But Nintendo shut down the eShop. Too bad. I have no legal way to access my property that I paid for with legal tender. The content I paid them for. And this really has to stop. Cursed Farms, a YouTuber on here, has started a call to arms, getting everyone involved on how to contact their local governments to combat this, to make developers make the games available when they give up on them. Source codes being released, ways to convert the game to be working offline, something. If you're a gamer, if you're an appreciator of the gaming arts, you need to get involved and you need to get in. Links will be down in the comment section below on how to get involved. We need to protect our purchases and our content. Games need to be protected. They are an art form and they need to be preserved. I wanted to like Star Wars Outlaws. I really, really did. It seemed like an easy win. An open world Star Wars game where you get to play as a smuggler. That sounds like a cheat code to print money in my books. But you've got Ubisoft overreaching and they're trying to make their bag and they're trying to go this full online only mode that is just anti-consumer. Please vote with your wallet. Please sign the petitions below. Please contact your members of government. Protect our games. Protect ourselves from Ubisoft's dystopian future. And support your indie devs. Anyway, I've been the Welshie One. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and comment and subscribe down below if you've enjoyed this content. I'm going to go back to the indie scene and I'm going to go back and play Dwarf Fortress. That only cost me $50. Thank God to the indie scene.